Our VoD reviews this time around. We have G2 versus Weibo in what was a really good game. This time, the Galio top working out for an EU team, unlike the first time around. But yeah, this was a fun one for me. I actually had G2 favored in this game if they could play sides. So to see them play into a Malachi Trist, which LPL does play really well, and play a teamfight comp to beat it earlier on, I really enjoyed watching, actually. So excited to tune in this VoD review. That being said, follow me everywhere at Cubby XX if you guys want to see more. And if you guys enjoyed the content on this YouTube, think about giving a sub, and likes and comments help the channel out a lot. So with that said, let's dive on in. As I flip the intro I usually do. We improv with the best of them. All right. First pick, Callista, after we have the Brand. Yone, Aurora taking away Brand. Definitely a specific one to Yike. I'm curious about the Brand takeaway in this scenario, though, because Ash, Poppy, and Italy taken away. Curious about the Brand takeaway. I feel like if your plan is to take away Brand, I know it was first banned from Weibo, but for me, you're taking away Brand if you want to play tanks, and they ended up not picking A, a tanky topside, and B, they dropped jungle. So maybe they were expecting a different opener, but that did surprise me a bit. That said, Callista locked in, response, Jhin Rumble, water range, and power. Then is the Galio Rel, with the Galio being top. I'm not sure. I mean, I think they saw the Galio top coming, because they did ban out the Yasuo, right? So no Yas, no Vi. Vi's a good ban. Obviously, you want to take away one of the guaranteed lockdowns that Galio can bring. Vi R plus Galio R is pretty deadly. They do end up finding it with Nocturne Ori, though. I'm very surprised that they didn't deny Nocturne Ori in any way, shape, or form. I think the mistake here from Weibo is, like, I like Malachi, but it is taking Malachi here. You have, like, you're just picking another tank. You do have a lot of damage, but I'm really shocked they didn't deny Ori Nocturne. And it does feel like Ori Nocturne have started to kind of take over the tournament. And Ori has been banned away from a lot of teams, and giving this pick to Caps, where historically he's been just really, really strong on it. It was not on my bingo card. I can say that denying Yas, I don't mind, because again, I think that G2 does play 3 lanes really well, and they've done a good job of that this tournament. But Matt, you gave away a pairing that's really, really strong, and you're showing squishies. So that was a bit surprising to me, because it also feeds into what G2's comp already wants to do really well. So we have multiple ball carriers, multiple ways to get Galio into the fight, and then with all the chaos going on, Callista to just keep on throwing spears out. Meanwhile, Weibo, they have to really be careful about playing the range game, which they can do really well. I like the Weibo comp. But G2, I just think that if you want to play this, you have to find ways to slow them down. These 2 bans are doable, but man, you're going to give away Ori Noct for this? I'm just really surprised about that. I think that combo just plays way too fast, has way too much damage, where one of your damage dealers is going to be taken out of the fight immediately, no matter what happens. So, yeah. Anyway. Was this the super? Oh, no. Pick ban. Galio, I believe the W shield does grant him shield bash. Second win. Meanwhile, Breeze going for the Conqueror setup, I do like, because the Rumble, for me, like, this is really bursty, but they're going to be looking for Rumble. So this setup, not only in the lane, but also in the fights, so you go Riftmaker second, is better. So I actually like Breed taking this. This was a thumbs up from me. Everything else pretty standard. We like Mickey better than we like Crisp. I actually didn't think about lane swaps. What's the lane swap scenario? I think Galio is stronger. Galio for sure is stronger in lane swaps than the Rumble. It's another perk for Galio. There's a rumor that Galio top is going to be a thing at MSI because of how well he's playing the swaps, actually. G2's 5th in the global power rankings? What the fuck? That cannot be right. Really? I must check this. We must fact check this. 5th? What the fuck? That's crazy. They were 5th? What the fuck? All right, I'm sorry, GT. You were not the 5th best team in the world, even if we really like you. Okay, that's a misclick. Wow. All right, well, that's going to fix itself over time. Do you like G2 playing defense there? That level 1 core by the bot support jungle is actually really, really strong. And they do get their standard ends. Good trades here by G2. They did lose Prio on the way, but it's fine. Yeah. So two's. Oh wait, they got Crisp off of Crisp. I don't know how Crisp missed XP, but not good. Of course he did. And then Breathe fucks up. All right. So this is bad. There's really not an excuse for this from Breathe. I mean, I think the issue here is that it looks like he went E second. Yeah, he fired off an E there. I mean, I think he might have to go shield second in this matchup. I'll be honest. Maybe that's it. So maybe Breathe just doesn't know the matchup, which I know was tweeted about at some point. Like playing unique match. I think Ellis was tweeting about how unique matchups help. I mean, I've talked about knowledge gap a lot. I 100% agree with that sense of logic, right? A lot of this game can be knowledge gap. Like if you're a good player and you know how to play something and the other good player does not know how to play it, you are going to have edge. Whether it's meta or not. All right. Good find, though, by Weibo. Ends up being split recall. Hans is trying to get this wave in. He just gets caught. So, blower for Hans. Well played by Chris. He makes up for it. It was a rumored pick at MSI, I will say. Because it was good in the lane. It's good in lane swaps. Because you can't dive it. And you can farm. Because your Q and passive is just really strong early. So, like, unironically, it was. And then when, like, before they reworked Galio, like, when he was first released, and you could hold W and then flash, he was play top. Fuck the W flash, man. That shit was so ballistically broken. All right, Grubs for Drake trade. Top is definitely in favor of G2. Kind of makes sense. Not bad. I think that it's a bit of a deny away from Weibo, because I think Weibo should be able to stretch the map a little bit better later on, but we'll see. G2 can always play fast with Galio. Caps has the ball pretty far outside the wave. Yeah, you should get that one back. A lot of Ori is keeping the ball on the waves so that your Q movements are a little bit... Like, the Q doesn't have to travel as long, and you can still hit the wave if you want. Interesting, though, Caps is letting the wave come to him. So it looks like he's trying to deny some CS that way, which, to be fair, with the building 1-4, he's... He does... Yeah, he actually got... He got Xiaohu out of the lane, so well played. Well played. Interesting, though, like, he was keeping the ball outside the wave, just to force that wave to come to him, because Triss has to push because of the E. So, that's... all I got for that, I see that matchup again. Probably going to see it again in the tournament, for sure. I'm curious what Caps is maxing too, because usually with Comet, you W max. And you did go Ludens this game, so again, just going for the one shot with Nocturne. I'll see if I can see what Caps... Oh, I'll check the GOL afterwards, honestly. I wonder if he put multiple points to the queue. Wait, can I... Oh, it looks like he has at least 3 points in the queue. I think it's like, I'm down with 2 or 3 points queue and then max W. Oh, yeah, he definitely put more points in queue. Okay. Interesting. I know you can get away with in this matchup, but yeah, it looks like it's 4 or 5 points queue. Really nice job, though, by Caps to hold the line here. Good positioning. He's got the blast cone, so he's super safe. Yeah, really, really well done. And again, top prio big. Good rotation from G2 here. Yeah, they got bot wave in. They force Xiaohu out. Really, really nice. Really nice from G2. I mean, looks like Weibo just don't want to pull the trigger because, I mean, Caps is so big. I look at mid lane items right now. I just don't think they want to fight into the Ori, which I can't blame them for. So if that's the case, then I don't think they should have contested. But G2, because they had better map play, they just get it. Nice. Really nice. I mean, the ult from Tarzan's a really nice angle. Like, hold on, let's see how this play develop. Obviously, like, what happened top, really well played by G2 to get all the grubs. It's pretty much just all, like, the first 3 grubs were off top diff. This one was off a mid diff, though. And then I really like how G2 play the grub advantage, because they finish the play top, and then they overload bot. And as long as you have grub advantage, it's worth dropping these 3 waves in order to just stack turrets. And the answer is they go on the Caps. But they still have all the waves in. Like, what the fuck was this from Weibo? Honestly. Like, they played for the kill, they didn't get it, and then they just... Wow. I mean, this is... Wow. By the way, Chris is going to flash on a Mickey here. And misses. Wow. Oh, man. I mean, wave sacked are pretty much even. Like, G2 just... I just don't get these TPs from Weibo. Like, Breathe is late. Breathe needs to be here with Xiaohu. Breathe's late. But he also doesn't have ult, so, like, why the fuck is Breathe coming to this? And when Breathe TPs here, by the way, A, you lose both solo lane TPs, but also you cannot... Like, you just don't have wave clear. Both your solo lanes went to Narnia with his TP. The only option is to play out mid. So bot turret still false. Nice. And they look for Mickey, which is like just a complete tempo dumpster. Damn, really, really well done by G2. Really poor response from Weibo. Good map play from G2. I mean, G2's macro has been really, really good this tournament. I really like how G2's been playing them out. No matter what happens in the next few days, this has been the strongest the West has looked in, like, since the years where Fnatic and G2 were going to finals, right? But even then, it was really only them that was good. I'd say that it's probably the best the West is looking like since this was back in Europe again. As at least TL had hopes that year, right? Because 2019 was the year where like they came off the second place in MSI and were still on the 4-peat. And it just didn't go their way. But I mean, yeah, this is the best the West has looked in a long time between TLG2 and FlyQuest. I'm not coping in saying that. And yet it still doesn't feel super winnable. but you know, it's better. I really don't think I'm coping in saying that. Why is Chris split? It's like Maokai's in base now. Xiao plays one more wave. He's gonna stay. It's fine. I just don't get why Chris was split recall. And then cancels to take this fight. Because Weibo's on reset second, so Chris is going in while his team is still getting auto resets. They're fixing mid, and then he just fucking dies. Xiaohu's forced out of the fight. We'll play Yike. Rumble alt's good. Breathe had a nice fight. I really like what Mickey does here too, actually. This got a little bit funky. Whoop. I think BB was trying to hit Breathe. Alright, this was sloppy. Breathe had a nice fight. We overcommitted a little bit in choke. This chunk should have been taken. Really, really nice, though. What Tarzan's going to flash W, the Oriana ult. You're going to see Shockwave. I don't know if you guys... Yeah, it just went off. It's on cooldown now. He flashed W'd and got the engage on the... Yeah, that's well played from Weibo. That's well played from Weibo. I do like what Mickey's doing here, just taking up space in the choke, because in theory, they should be able to flip this now in the 4v2, but Breathe got another massive fight. All right, we'll play Breathe. Breathe forgave some sins. And Hansama did not have the fast feet. So a bit of a swap fight. A lot of gold going back over to Rumble. Game has evolved this year. Instead of 1v1s, 2v2s, outplays players are beyond that now. Crazy, it's gaining that one-level lead that really has been a thing. Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about top lane XP in the line swaps. All right, Dragon taken by G2 on the back half of that. I do think swaps help. I slept through this game. Feels bad, man. I was up for this one. Really like how disciplined G2's been at playing out their two lanes and playing through mid. It's like getting mid access. It really helps their comp. Because they're looking the wombo, so having that control around mid, that's when they can pull the trigger. If their comp's narrow, it's really good. Having Yike, Caps, Hans, everyone stacked on top of each other, and then Galio gets pushed and hovers is the right way to play. So again, we'll play the G2. It's on Weibo to play out 3 lanes and stretch with Tristana, which they're going to do now. A little bit late in this formation, but still good. And then Galio, because he got this all the way in, he gets to go respond to Trist, and still should be able to respond to the map. That tower does fall. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's Riftmaker second for the Galio, so gonna drain tank up. This is actually a really good sign though for G2 in this tournament, because again, they got Yone for the first 2 games. So they were playing out 3 lanes mostly and sacking team fights to play with the Yone and stretch map. This is a comp where you have to play a narrower map with the Knock Ori, and they're actually doing a very good job of doing so. Really like what G2 did here too. They got bought in as Dragon spawns. And again, top is neutral. So Xiaohu can't play the next wave top because of the Nocturne. Like when you have Vi Nocturne and Ori, right? If you play that like extra wave or actually play for shove instead of for catch, it's really dangerous. But Xiaohu shows top then. Again, mid's in, bot's in because the Galio's just winning. The engage fails. And it's a free Drake, but they don't send 5 to the Drake. They keep their formation mid. And then just let Han solo. Which I really like. Because, like, yeah, I really, really like this from G2. This is really good. So they get to keep pressure on the map. Now, this engage from Chris is good too. They infer the Hans is on the Dragon, which is accurate. And they do take down the Ori. So what can G2 do better here? I mean, they did overcommit for this, and it's a good engage from Crisp. Good from Chris and Tarzan. I think that G2's line should be here, right? They shouldn't cross this line. Now, you can play for control and for vision up here and a pick and poke, but this line you shouldn't cross for me. So I do think they overcommitted on this line. I don't think that's like too unreasonable for me to say here either. Like, because I'm saying that you maintain like this pocket, right? I don't think I'm being a hindsight Harry in that. Because you still need the link with Hans on the next mid wave, so it really is just like make sure they don't hit Baron. Instead, they overextend and drop 2. And again, I do appreciate G2 for this. They say, fuck that Baron. We're not going to go give them more gold. We're just going to go take what we can. And they have 6 grubs, so they take shit really fast. So they get 2 inners off this. It's like, yes, they do lose Baron. Yes, that is an oops, but at least they take 2 inners in return. So like the power play is already like kind of meh. But this was a throw. Hold on. All right. Sorry. Trying to get back something. Where were we? I'm not editing that out of the VoD. You guys are gonna have to sit through that. Ooh. I mean, they get both sums out of breathe. I think it's worth the flash from Mickey. I do. It's also the Baron power play, right? So like you're responding to this instead of pushing waves. Zhao is the only one pushing. Again, it's hard with against Nocturne. You have to kind of play a narrow 4-1, which yeah, wave being behind's hard for that. They've been doing a decent job though, like getting some economy. Rumble damage wasn't real. It was only on the Yike and BB, and I think it's a good adaptation from G2 to focus the Rumble, because the Rumble was cooking them in the last few fights. Also, great play here from BB to get Xiaohu. Yeah, I mean, Mickey living as long as he did is kind of nice, because you don't get a jump. Just really good play from BB and Mickey syncing up like that. They really kept the Triss busy in this fight, which is important. Like, I don't think the rest of the damage is significant or matters that much if they keep Triss busy. And then Light gets stuck because Caps is able to shift focus onto him and he has got no more help. The TPM was crazy, by the way, from Xiaohu. I mean, if BB times this right, it's so cooked. It still ends up being cooked. But this fight, I mean, it's made by Mickey's initial engage, and then again the focus on the Rumble, good adaptation. Because the last couple fights we've seen, it's like, hey, breathe. Like the fight they lost bad, or like the 4-for-4, and by the Weibo's blue buff, that was all Rumble, right? Like Rumble fucking cooked them. So I think the adaptation, like A, get the Rumble, and then B, they just only have to focus on Triss for the rest of the fight. Like Jhin damage just doesn't matter. G2's comp, they're too tanky for that. So I think it's a really good focus on what targets matter for G2 in this fight. In terms of Weibo, what can the Weebs do? Tarzan's ult was terrible. Wait, how did I not talk about this until now? What the fuck is this Maokai ult, man? This thing is going into Narnia. Tarzan? Not my boy. Not like this. Wow, that was brutal. Somehow, Cubby watching the games keeps me up. More like media sneaking double dip. Well, you know, based on viewer counts, you're in the minority, but I'll take that as a compliment. Good fight from G2. I still really like the target selection in this. I think the problem solving they had is really sound. So I was really happy about that. Nice chain on the Tarzan. Really like the shit to focus to. Onto the Jhin. The Rumble ult's not great. I feel like Rumble ult should have been trailing where Breathe walked out, by the way. Even though that, I mean, that wouldn't have mattered either. So maybe it can just be held. Yeah. Or like throw it where, so like Caps and Hans can't walk through. Like actually throwing it here would have been okay. Like it would have at least just deterred them. It would have split the fight. Would have been better there. But I think the hold, I think, if you don't hold though, Chris gets melted, but still. The gym is a little bit ambitious, but I think we're going to fight the turn, or if we're playing the turn here as G2, it's smart. They have Rel, yeah, they had Rel, Ori, and Galio ults, and that was smart. I will say, when I had a full-time job, Dr. Professor Sergeant Mr. J, I fell asleep to LCS quite often. It was kind of nice. It was kind of peaceful. Still really like G2 setups, like the narrow 4-1s with the Galio is good. You can always threaten Nocturne Ori with the stack they have going on. And like with Baron, Weibo just has to respond. So G2 gets to play their game when they get Baron. Baron's pretty big this game just because you have 2 different comps. I think sometimes like when you have to play like 4-1s in arrow, or like you have to play 3 lanes, and like it's opposite. Whoever gets Baron gets to actually dictate that. Nice E from BB that got out of the Jhin route. Ooh, got a bit scary here for G2. But Xiaohu at a moment. Not great for Xiaohu. Also, I gotta say, Mortal Reminder this game I would have enjoyed more than LDR. I don't know why you go LDR now. I really don't. I think the only champ I can actually logic it out on is actually Jhin, because you benefit more from AD. Like you have like you're steroided out, right? And decent engage on the caps here, unironically. I like the angle from that Weibo took. I just think it's just too late. Because Galio just completely splits the fight. Nice buffer from BB. And yeah, it's like it should be all they get. Yep. Ori combo hit. 3v3 with all G2 strong members up. Weibo would benefit from the meta shifts. I don't exactly. I think I did because Xiaohu picks were good. Like the Syndra is really good. I haven't liked Weibo's drafts. I really haven't liked Weibo's drafts in this tournament. BB's too big. Really like the Zanyas from him because he stopped the reset from Xiaohu and then just bought space. And Caps got Shockwave back up. They dodge out on this and they eventually get back. It's a TP. All right, GG's G2. I think G2, like the way they put out this comp and their target selection was actually really good. And the way they put out 6 grubs and played to get grubs were like really solid. I mean, G2's map play looks really good this tournament, so I've been impressed. I really have. I think G2's playing good league. I'm not surprised that they showed up like when it counts, because again, G2 like they don't need to be in shape until internationals. They can be half in shape and win LEC, as we've seen multiple times. But yeah, it's they look really good. They've played really well this tournament, so I've been really happy about that. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in this VoD review, guys. That's been it for G2 versus Weibo. Congrats to G2 moving to 2-1, and we will see you guys for the next one. If you guys enjoy the content, feel free to drop a sub. Likes and comments help a lot. And follow me everywhere at Cubby, especially on Twitch, where I stream these lives.